All right, guys, I'm back, and I have a package that is from Monthly Knife Club, and this is not the package that Onyx usually comes in, so I know it's not that. I'm not sure what this is. I believe this is something else that they sent, that they gave to me for us to check out. So, using the name brand Tier 2 that they also sent, you know what? Do I need to? I think I can no, but I want to be destructive and use a sharp object. I want to. We get to. Trying not to cut the card is why I'm not just ripping right into this thing. Okay. A QSP. It's a nice knife. And this is, starter name brand knife. That's, I didn't even know this thing existed. I didn't even know there was a starter name brand. $25 for the subscription. Total value $29.99 to $39.99. Now QSP is good brand, decent brand. It is a Chinese manufactured brand. I don't know if I've seen the Parrot before. There's your specs right there. Okay, so we're dealing with washers, which is not a bad thing. Many excellent knives have washers, not bearings. So I'm not, complaining about that. Denim micarta, though, that's pretty cool. So micarta is actually we use that term all the time. Micarta is actually a trade name, a brand name. We use it to represent a type of material, but that's actually called a phenolic, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. Phenolic resin is what it's called, but we know what it means when we hear micarta. So let's see what's in here. So, just a denim micarta is a micarta made with denim as the material. So your jeans, your old jeans, and you can do that at home. So, you can look up how to do it the same way I tried to do P cord, 550 cord. You can do, that's nice looking. You can do denim, you can do paper, you can do linen, you can do, anything almost. Now that's very interesting. You can feel the denimness of it. It's not very blue. I bet if we added a little bit of oil to this, we get a little bit more color. And I'm tempted to do that, but you can see the layers of denim there in that. I know we should open up the knife. We'll test this out. We'll see if we can bring a little color back to it. I'm not sure what color of material they used, but that is a very smooth knife. And you know what? Like I said, washers have been the gold standard for years for folding knives. And as long as it's engineered right, you don't need bearings. Bearings are nice. Bearings are fancy, but well done washers can be just as smooth, sometimes smoother. Sometimes there's a smoothness factor with washers you don't get with bearings. And that's why some of the big custom makers, they still use phosphor bronze washers. This has copper washers, but pretty much the same thing. I mean, I know it's not the same material, but in terms of what the knife does, it's the same thing. This is a super smooth, though. Very nice. Very nice. Spear point kind of blade, which looks good. Lovely finish on the blade. Pretty nice. 3 1/4 inch blade, so it's legal in a lot of places. Not everywhere, but most places. Nice EDC size, not thrilled with that clip. You guys know I want a deep carry clip on everything all the time, always. Can you dye micarta? Yes, nobody asked, but I'm saying yes, often you can. Because it's fabric. Or some kind of paper-related product. So often you can dye micarta. And the coloring of this right now looks like it would take a nice blue or red or purple or whatever you wanted to do. I'm guessing it's like a black denim. But I want to get a little bit of oil out, and we'll see what it looks like if we just put a little bit, you know, just like you would oil a G10 up or anything. Yeah, see? That kind of brings a little bit of color back to it. And, that micarta will absorb that. And micarta, sometimes when it, you know, there's a water kind of quality to micarta where it gets a little spongy and extra grippy when it's wet. This oiling kind of can mess with that because the oil will displace the water, you know, like it will block the micarta from absorbing the water. It's easy to get this oil out too. You just soak the micarta in some hot soapy water for a while if you want. This is something that, you know, like if I was working on a micarta scale when I was all done, I would give it a little bit of oil to return the color of the fabric back. But I think that's a nice look. You might like that. I like that personally. And of course it'll lighten up as the oil is absorbed very slowly into the material, because remember it's impregnated with resin too, so we're just getting that very first layer there of exposed fabric. And of course you can use any old oil for this, doesn't have to be anything special. I'm just using whatever was the first thing I had under the table here to grab onto. And then what I'll do is, after I'm done oiling this up here, I will wrap it in a shop towel and let that soak up and absorb the excess that the material doesn't want to hold on to. And believe it or not, it does feel a little bit more grippy now that I've introduced oil to the equation. It's kind of counterintuitive, but you know, because again, the micarta has a little bit of wetness to it now. It gets that spongy, slightly more grippy feeling. It's very weird that it does it like that. Anyway, I guess that's not the point. We're not here talking about the properties of micarta. I just wanted to see what this this denim micarta would look like if we gave it a little oil treatment there. And I like it. I like it. It would be cool if it was actually like blue denim, like jeans micarta. I'm surprised we have not heard any extraneous noise coming from this way, since Giggles over there has been playing Fallout the whole time. She asked me very nicely if I wanted her to stop, and I said no. In fact, I want to hear you. I want people to hear you.
Not
because
when I start screaming.
That's what I want them to hear. The angry video game playing giggle. So it's a nice knife for $25. This is a pretty, I think this is a pretty good deal. Now, see, as we get some of that excess oil out, you can see the denim pattern coming back in. I think that looks pretty nice. It is a nice knife for $25. And I get it, the starter name brand knife. So, you know, starting off your collection, or I've said this term often in the last few weeks. I don't know why it keeps coming up, but a starter knife, someone who is new to the world of knives and collecting or using. You want to put something decent in their hands, but not something really expensive or fancy or complicated. You definitely don't want to start them off on the wrong foot and give them something, a piece of shit, a piece of crap that's going to break and leave a bad image, a bad impression in their mind. So this is actually a pretty decent one, and I understand why it's in the starter kit. There are some things that Monthly Knife Club does that I have not been thrilled with. There are a couple here and there that I even have not liked, but in general, I really like what Monthly Knife Club brings to the table, and this is another one that I think is pretty good. So for a $25 subscription, the starter name brand knife, like I said, I didn't even know that was a thing that they did. I would be pretty happy to get this and put it in the collection. Number one, it's an inexpensive, but I know QSP brand. Yeah, now we hear it. It's an inexpensive, but reliable brand.
Shotgun against the machine.
This knife is EDC friendly. Nice size in terms of steel thickness and just size and weight and everything for general EDC carry. And it's a nice looking knife. I may or may not take a Dremel to it and just grind in a little pattern in this micarta just to make it a little bit more EDC carryable and grippy, because I just, number one, I think it would be fun to do. Working with micarta is a little bit different than working with G10 or other materials. But I think it would be nice just to put a pattern in there. And maybe we will end up giving this one away on the channel as well, since it was sent to me. And that was a very nice gesture. You know, I like to pay it forward, and maybe we'll put this in someone's hand after I do a little bit, after I put my own little spin on the scales there. So it's kind of a little personal touch, you know. What do you guys think? Anybody out there subscribe to the starter name brand subscription that once again I didn't even know existed until today? And what do you guys think of QSP as a brand, of this knife, of these features? Did you like the micarta before I gave it a little bit of a treatment, or do you like it better now that it's darkened up a little bit and you have that? Because this is probably more similar to the, you know, the actual color of the denim. It's probably a darker denim color. When then they started, you know, cutting it up and working with it. But I like it a lot. Micarta is a really great handle material. So yeah, I'm really curious to hear your opinions on this whole subscription level, on this knife and everything. Thank you very much, Monthly Knife Club, for sending me something else cool to look at and show to everybody, and for the potential for giving away. And he did tell me, by the way, Daryl, owner operator, cool dude in charge, that if he ever did send me something and that I wanted to, you know, put it in the hands of one of you guys, that I should feel free to do that. So I think that's probably what we'll do with this, again, after I do a little bit of customizing on it and everything. Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate your time taking a look at this with me. Can't wait to read your comments and everything on it. So remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.